This is Beach House, a 15-bedroom hotel just outside the centre of Reading. It's owned and run by Michael Bissell, a divorced businessman. Michael was a war baby and grew up in care, eventually settling in Reading as a child. 4 years ago, after 5 decades of business success, Michael decided to try one last venture before retiring. He invested over £500,000 of his own savings, converting a former care home into a hotel. But the guests he hoped to attract failed to materialise.
I suppose I opened the doors thinking people would just see Beach House Hotel and they would come in automatically. But sadly that didn't happen.
With no guests and massive overheads, Michael was forced to cash in his pension, but the hotel continued to hemorrhage money.
So in the first year we lost 190,000. Second we lost 120,000. I'm now 66, so all my money is gone. And by the end of the next financial year, I'm not too sure where I'll be.
Michael's savings have run dry, but the hotel continues to cost him a fortune.
I think now it's got to the stage where I can't go on any further.
Despite running out of money and ideas, Michael's determined not to give up. He's pinning all his hopes on one person, prominent hotelier Ruth Watson.
I don't want to see it to fail. I don't like failures. It's not in my book.
Well, this is a very handsome building. It's got a good architectural quality to it. The thing I'm really noticing is there's no rating outside. If I was a passing visitor, I'd want to know that this was accredited.
In a town overflowing with hotels, the lack of any stars immediately puts Beach House at a disadvantage. A rating from a tourism authority such as Visit Britain would indicate quality to potential guests.
Hello, you're Michael?
Michael Bissell, how do you do?
Hello, I'm Ruth.
Ruth is keen to get down to business straight away. She's anxious to find out why the hotel is sitting empty when it seems to have so much going for it.
Michael, what's going wrong?
We're not getting enough people through the door.
And what sort of rating do you have from Visit Britain for here? Do you have stars?
No.
No?
And at the end of the day, I don't look at stars to see whether the hotel is good.
So you're saying that when you're a customer looking for a hotel in Cornwall or Paris or whatever, you would not look at the rating at all?
Not
OK.
at all, no.
Can I just say, Michael, you're quite unusual in that respect, because people do look at ratings.
Well, I don't think I am, because I judge it on what it is, not the stars outside on the door.
Yeah.
Next for discussion, the pricing structure. Michael has a one-price-fits-all policy, charging the same for his rooms every day of the week throughout the year.
So where do you think it's going wrong?
I don't think it's because of the fee that I'm charging.
Why do you not think that?
Well, because of what I'm offering and what people say when they come here.
This is the whole point. Once they're here, I have no doubts that they love it. I have no doubts that it's good value. The point is you've got to get them here. Believe me, the British people are very, very price sensitive, and I just think we need to look at that element of it.
Because he doesn't lower his prices during quiet periods, Michael could be putting potential customers off and losing money he can ill afford.
Presumably you don't have a bottomless pit of cash.
You're right, I'm at the bottom of the pit.
As a self-made man, relinquishing control may not come naturally to Michael, but he'll have to put himself in Ruth's hands if his business is to recover. Time is running out. As part of her investigation, Ruth plans to stay the night in one of the rooms. Michael leads her upstairs to number 12, a standard double, priced at £85 per night.
Here's your room.
Thank you very much. Oh, this is a nice size and it's nice and bright,
Facing
isn't it?
south.
Yeah. No, it's very comfortable. All right, thanks,
All right.
Michael.
Good night.
See you later on, bye. I think what this room has really got going for it, it doesn't feel like a bog-standard chain hotel. It feels comfortable and homely. Well, this is a perfectly functional bathroom. It's white from top to toe. There's a jolly good-sized shower. It's not a bathroom to get your heart racing with excitement, but it's absolutely fine. No argument with it.
At £75 a night, every day of the week throughout the year, Ruth wants to see what Michael's single rooms have to offer.
Well, this is demonstrably a single room. I can put my hands out and almost touch the walls, not quite, but not far off. I think this is where Michael's got a problem. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with this room. It's got all the things you need in it. But I think we've got to really look at this rates thing. It's not right. The ratios are completely wrong.
As Ruth heads back to her room, Michael reflects on her suggestion that he tries to win a star rating for the hotel.
If that's the road I've got to go down, I will go down that road. I think if she's going to give you some advice, she certainly would like you to take it.
I'm not sure whether this is going to be a battle or not, but I am very surprised that he is not more open to some of the suggestions I've already come up with. By his own admission, he's only got months to go before he simply runs out of money. And I think it would break his heart if he had to sell this.
In the kitchen, Michael and his team are preparing breakfast for their guest of honour.
Ready to roll?
We are, sir.
Indeed, a bit.
Beach House Hotel has a small but loyal workforce, including receptionist Tanya and chef Margaret. Upstairs, it seems the day has started well.
Michael cares about beds, and he's right to. It's very good quality, and the pillows are good, the linen's good. It's very, very nice. Had a good night's sleep. On the whole, I think Michael's biggest problem is he's just not telling people that he's got a very comfortable hotel here.
Lots of people like it, a good English breakfast, and you can see from comments in the book that people like the breakfast, so hopefully we've got that right. But we'll wait for Ruth to tell me.
Oh, I think I'll just do the whole full English cooked breakfast, please.
Yes, please.
I loved your pouched eggs.
Would you like to have one of those?
No,
one?
it should be poached. I like the idea of a
Yeah, I
poached
know.
egg.
Right, one full English, right, ready?
Oh, that looks marvellous. This is an extremely generous looking plate. Plenty of things going on, which is nice. Weird sausage. Weird sausage. I think it's a good looking breakfast. Quality of the bacon's good. Most of the ingredients are absolutely fine. Something strange with the sausage, but I don't think one could argue as a general premise that this is a perfectly good breakfast.
Ruth heads to the kitchen to talk to Margaret. On the whole, the breakfast was excellent, but she has a bone to pick about the sausages.
The one thing I didn't like, and this has nothing to do with your cooking, was the sausage.
I don't get a say in what we buy, you know? He goes out, I have to write down what I need, and they pick it up, and I must admit, I don't think the sausages are good, and I never have done. Most people leave them.
Yes. He seems to be sort of sometimes a bit set in his ways about things.
Yes.
You find that too?
Well, he is set in his ways, and I mean, sometimes I can tell him things, and he won't listen.
Yeah. One of the things that I did suggest to Michael, he's by no means agreed to it, but I just wanted to get your feedback on it, was that when business are in trouble and, you know, the staff are an integral part of it, sometimes the proprietor may say, would it be possible to either reduce your hours a little bit or get you to do some other things with your hours? I mean, would you be prepared to help him out at all?
I would do, yes. Because if it's going to help him, then yes, there's no problem at all.
Yeah.
He's always there for us.
Yeah.
And I feel to my best that I'm there to help him when he needs it as well, really.
Thank you.
Margaret clearly cares about her boss and the future of the hotel. Next, Ruth seeks out receptionist Tanya. She wants to establish how much freedom Michael gives his staff.
Tanya.
Yes.
Say a chap phones up and he wants a single room and you're really, really quiet. Have you got the ability to say, what's your budget? Yes, we can do it for a cheaper rate.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah? Have you got a rate below which you can't go?
Yes.
Yeah?
65
Right.
for single room.
Now, what if I said to you, that's still quite high, you're not taking enough business, and if you were to offer £50, but maybe just with continental breakfast rather than cooked breakfast, would you be able to do that?
Well, if Mr. Bissell happy without it,
Yeah.
why not?
Do you think he's more likely to take advice and suggestion or not?
Well, he takes advice, you know.
He listens?
Yeah, he listens.
Yeah.
Not always, of course, but I mean, he listens, yes.
Yeah.
It's time for Ruth to confront Michael with her findings. First on the agenda, his relationship with his employees.
I found it quite intriguing that staff who've worked for you for 3, 4, 5 years, who are clearly fond of you, still call you Mr. Bissell rather than Michael.
Well, I was brought up in that age where I always called my boss Mr. or Mrs. whatever, and it's stuck. And I think you also have that little bit of control. And I think that's what's wrong with society today, that we're too familiar with each other.
The reason I'm saying that is because I think your staff is one of your strongest suits, and I don't think you're playing it. It's almost as if you've got to carry the weight of this entire business, this problem that you've got, on your shoulders, and I think they'd be prepared to share it with you.
I'm not convinced of that.
You're wrong, and I'm right. If I said to you that Margaret, she would actually happily give up working some of the hours to help you through, she would do that for you.
Okay. It's interesting.
Next, Ruth wants to talk about the hotel's lack of rating.
When we talked initially, you were very, very against the idea of having a rating. But what I would like to do is I'd like to get somebody in from Visit Britain to come and have a look, because what that will allow us to do is to place you in other arenas and to do things on the webs and all sorts of stuff where you can actually gain extra business. We don't know how many people graze through the websites, look at it and actually dismiss it because it doesn't have that headline 4 stars or whatever.
Finally, Ruth wants to address the rigid pricing. Unusually, Michael has just one rate for each of his rooms, regardless of the day of the week or the time of year.
We have to be far more open, and we've got to be giving a base rate that you won't go below and a top rate you won't go above, but within those parameters, we will take the best offer that people are going to give us on any given day.
Well, I'm not convinced of that. I mean, if you look in a shop window and you see a piece of jewellery and you can't see the price, you don't like going ask for the price, do you?
That's not what I'm suggesting, Michael.
Well, but that's what you're doing. That's the avenue you're going down.
It's not like for like. It's not like for like.
You are. I mean,
no,
I think I'm selling shirts like Marks and Spencer's.
But you're not.
They're $29.99, and that's my price.
You're not.
Now, I can't go in and say I don't like the price of that shirt because down the road they're selling them for 25 quid. They would say, well, tough, mate.
Michael, Marks and Spencer's constantly are offering a different price to their customers. They have sales.
Sorry,
they have
to
seasonal
stop you there,
sales.
they have sales only when it suits them.
Yeah.
They don't have a sale when I go in there to buy the shirt and say, please can I have that shirt for £25?
You have your own sale,
No, but I'm not in the sale market. I'm not selling bloody shirts.
You are selling a room.
I'm selling quality.
Michael, are you going to listen to me? I listened to you. I listened to the whole thing you said. Listen to me. Marks and Spencer's do not sell shit shirts. They sell quality shirts, right? They vary the prices according to season, according to fashion, according to what people will pay. They amend their product to the market. And all I'm asking you to do, be aware that there are certain price points that people will pay at different times of the year, at different times of the week, and according to their budget. But what I want you to be doing is presenting a shop window out there on the web that says, I can negotiate, I will negotiate. Don't go past my window because you think you can't afford me. Come in and see what I have to offer. The main thing is I want you to be inviting people into your shop to see that you've got more than one shirt at £29, because you have. Michael cares deeply about this hotel, and well, he might. It's got a really comfortable feel about it. It's an honest, decent hotel that would make most people feel very happy. We have to look at his rates. They are not flexible enough, and he is losing so much by sticking to his guns on subjects that he really has to move from. I've left him a lot to ponder on.
She knows her mind and she knows her business. There were one or two things which I really didn't agree with. So perhaps today I've sort of shown I've got claws as well. I suppose I do resist change. To change some of my attitudes, you know, will be quite a difficult thing for me to do.
Despite his resistance, Ruth has asked Michael to implement a 3-point plan to get Beach House back on its feet. First, she wants him to get a rating for the hotel, a recognised sign of quality and an essential tool for marketing. Ruth also thinks the hotel's staff are something of a wasted resource. She wants Michael to have greater faith in them and let them help out more. Most importantly, Ruth wants Michael to have a more flexible approach to pricing, lowering his rates when the hotel's empty and using online booking agencies to tap into the business market. A few days later, Michael's gathered his staff together. As part of Ruth's plan to involve them more in the business, they've been invited to take part in a taste test. Ruth didn't like Michael's choice of breakfast sausage, so the hunt is on for a replacement.
Ruth felt that the sausages were probably needing to be just a slightly higher grade than they were. Right, what you've got to do then, folks, is you've got to take a slice of sausage, and then when you've eaten it, you've then got to make your choice as to whether it's a 1 or a 2.
So 1 is a favourite.
No, I know, isn't it? 1 is your favourite, and 2 is your second. Yeah. The warehouse sausages that we normally buy, I think there was only 1 voted for that. I did. So it looked as though the sausage that's won is the pork and leek sausage.
Yeah.
The staff have seemingly made their decision, and as I'm the boss, I suppose I'll have to listen to what they've got to say. So we'll go down that road for a while and see how we get on.
Ruth has also recommended that Michael apply for a rating from Visit Britain, but so far he's resisted. There's a strong chance that Beach House could no longer be called a hotel, as it doesn't have the required facilities. But Michael has never revealed why he's so keen to keep his hotel status.
The difficulty is with this, and I'm really not a very happy person about it and felt very sort of gutted, and that is that the word hotel would have to go and we would become a guest house.
It seems Michael's problem with the title guest accommodation stems from a fear of attracting the wrong kind of customer.
I think if we went down the road of guest house, we would end up with possibly the white van trade.
Do you want just business type people, or don't you want other type of people in?
The non-professional person, they come in late, they're noisy, they're disruptive to other residents, and I don't think that is the type of trade I particularly want to handle.
But the trouble is, you're not actually getting enough people in, are you?
I think I would be upset if I lost the title. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, to say the least.
Despite his deep-seated reluctance, the application form is sent. The assessment, which can happen at any time, is made by an undercover inspector who tests out the facilities before spending the night and taking breakfast. The inspector's identity is a closely guarded secret, hidden from Michael and the staff throughout his stay. Only after he's checked out will he reveal to them just who he is. But to Michael's surprise, the day of judgment for Beach House Hotel arrives sooner than he expected.
Yes, I'm from Quality and Tourism. Here on behalf of Visit Britain to do your assessment for the STAR scheme.
OK.
Before the inspector reveals his findings, he must tour all the rooms of the hotel with Michael. They'll be assessed on the quality of the decor and fixtures.
Well, I don't think that Michael will be very nervous to show you around because he's very proud of what he's done.
The inspector will also pass judgment on the cleanliness, hospitality, service and breakfast provided.
I don't really know what star rating we're going to get, really. I wouldn't like to say.
I think our hotel could get 3-star.
Ruth arrives in time to hear the inspector reveal his verdict. It's the moment of truth for Michael.
Michael, just to say thank you very much for a very comfortable stay, as we normally do as a guest. One of the questions I asked you is, where do you see yourself sitting in terms of your rating? And I know you were concerned about opting out of the hotel standard. I've looked at both standards for you. I have to say, within the hotel standard, one of the key requirements for you is to provide dinner, which obviously doesn't happen. That negates you from the hotel standard completely.
As the centre of Reading, with all its bars and restaurants, is just a stone's throw away, it wouldn't make financial sense for Michael to offer dinner to guests. But this means Beach House can't be graded as a hotel.
In terms of the guest accommodation rating, which is more about the quality of the product, the overall standard is coming out at a very high 4-star.
Are you not pleased with the idea of 4 stars? Music to your ears or
No.
just a little lullaby?
No, it's not music to my ears at all. I'm in an area where guest houses are the pits. You wouldn't want to put your dog in some of them.
But then they won't have 4-star ratings if they're
Well,
the pits.
once you use the word guest house, it just...
But you don't need to. What you choose to call your place, whether it's just the Beach's House or whether it's Beach House Lodge, anything is fine. You just mustn't use the word hotel.
Okay.
Michael may not be thrilled by the inspector's decision, but to be awarded 4 stars on his first inspection is a great achievement. It's a real recognition of quality and provides Michael with an opportunity to remarket the business.
My feelings are not very good about that at the moment, but I'm getting used to it, and I can understand where they're coming from. But at least I don't have to call myself a guest house.
Ruth wants to map the way forward. She's keen for Michael to capitalise on his new 4-star rating and use it to create some excitement. When the hotel first opened, it was with a whimper rather than a bang. Now he has something to shout about.
These words here, executive accommodation, I want to build on those if you are agreeable.
Yes.
Yeah. It also helps us when we remarket this place, because I think we're in a new life now.
Sure.
So we'd like to organise a relaunch party. And I think if we can get Tanya really working hard on the database, so we've got some good blue chip companies, there's loads of accountancy firms around here, anywhere particularly also where women executives are involved, because I do think this really lends itself. There is a very safe, secure feel about it. Now, what do you think about all that? Sounds good?
Good.
Holding a relaunch party that promotes Beach House as a female-friendly hotel could garner good publicity and help it stand out in the market. But Michael hasn't been won over just yet.
I think some of the ideas that have been put forward, suddenly the sort of shiver goes down my back and I think, I'm not doing that. Ruth is suggesting to me that we should have a party to relaunch Beach House. We're desperate. And last week, we had, I think it was 16 people in total. I can't go on like that.
With Beach House teetering on the verge of bankruptcy, time is of the essence. So Ruth sets the date for the relaunch party in just 3 weeks. And there's a great deal of work still to be done if the new-look Beach House is to impress. Outside, the signage is changing. The word hotel is now confined to history, to be replaced by 4 proud stars. Michael starts to measure up for the new signs, to be put up before the relaunch. But despite all the activity, he is still sceptical.
The party's less than a month away. I find it difficult to see how it's all going to fall into place. But if it brings in people into my rooms, then of course that's what the whole exercise has been about. I'm sure that if the accountants sat down and looked at it, they would tell me to close the door now. It's just wait and see, really. But I sadly haven't got that much longer to wait because it is coming to the end of the road.
With the stakes so high, the strain is all too clear to see. A few weeks later, the big day has finally arrived. Invitations have gone out to all of the surrounding blue-chip companies, conference centres and travel bookers. Finishing touches are being applied to ensure Beach House is looking its best for the roster of eminent guests. But one of Ruth's key issues has been left untouched. There's a stalemate on pricing.
Well, the pricing structure really hasn't altered, to be very honest. I think we honestly do not get very many people who say you're far too expensive. I think it's just 1 or 2 people.
Another, more immediate problem is rearing its ugly head. The new signs have arrived and they're the wrong size.
Unfortunately, some measurements got misrepresented. Instead of it being portrait, it's landscape, and so they're not quite the size of the board they should be. So I think we're going to do a fairly reasonable job in fitting them onto the old panels, but we'll probably get over it somehow or another. But it's very frustrating, to say the least.
With Michael and maintenance man Mick furiously trying to improvise, out front, Ruth has arrived. After checking the website, she's unhappy about the lack of movement on pricing.
Oh, hello, Tanya. Hi. I was looking for Michael, but you will do very well because I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I was a bit dismayed when I looked at the website to see that it still's got the same homepage and it still says £85 to £120.
Yes.
Late rooms and Expedia and Active Hotels and all those booking agencies, have they got the reduced rates to play with, or?
So I've contact with all these agencies,
Yeah.
and the last thing that Michael has to sign, the paper with them.
But he hasn't?
Not yet.
No. How long's that been going on for? Because I feel as if I haven't got very far in the last few months.
Well, I've done everything which is on my side.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting, and I try to ask him to do these things.
Have you been nagging him?
It's very difficult to push somebody who is the manager, and I'm not in a position to do that.
The pricing structure's the last thing on Michael's mind. The signs are not good.
Oh, Michael, what are you up to?
Well, fortunately, we had a disastrous with the size of the boards. When we got them this morning at 10 o'clock, we discovered they were the wrong size.
Gosh, very big executive accommodation. Yeah. Good to get your 4 stars, though. That's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Why are you ambivalent about it?
I don't know, Ruth. I don't know.
I think the expression "pride comes before a fall" could have been invented for Michael, because it's like he's got just tunneled vision. Like, I've got to do it the way I've got to do it. I'm really disappointed that he made a face about the idea of having 4 stars. I would have thought he'd be really excited that for once he's going to have something up there that says this place is of some degree of quality. And I just find it so frustrating, because I don't really know what he wants from me. I don't know why he asked me to come in. He's not listening to anything I say. He doesn't want to do anything I suggest, even though he's got absolutely nothing to lose. It's just indicative of his whole mindset, which is, unless I do it myself, it's not going to happen and it's got no value.
But when the first sign goes up, the mood lifts.
So now it's up. Are you relatively happy?
No, that one's up. Not the other one to go up yet.
Right, okay, all right. Well, it's a step.
It's a step forward. Yeah.
The panic over the sign may be temporarily resolved, but Ruth wants to take the opportunity to confront Michael about his failure to budge on pricing.
When I checked your website this morning, the homepage still says the prices per room are from 85 to 120. You actually haven't moved on the price at all. You've maintained your £95 per night.
I have at the moment. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know quite what I have to say to get you to understand this. Where you sit with the rest of the market, how flexible you are, how much you react to the non-occupation of your rooms is vital. Because the fact of the matter is, you are losing lots and lots and lots of money. 113,000 was it last year? Now, unless you actually change the way you trade, it's going to happen all over again this year, because the only way you're going to get more people in is by actually offering them what they want. Every international and national trading company, whether they're selling food, shirts, holidays, cars, it doesn't matter, have to react to their market,
But
and they
keep
have
putting the
to.
price of their shirts up and down.
Of course they do.
No, I don't
Of course
accept
they
that,
do.
Ruth. I'm sorry, I don't
Of course
accept
they do. They have sales and they have
that. Yeah,
price
they have
points.
sales once, twice or 3 times a year.
Within,
Come on, that's not realistic.
No, listen.
Be realistic. I cannot change my prices on a weekly basis. That's absolute
Michael,
nonsense.
can I just tell you here
That
and
is
now?
nonsense.
Can I just tell you one thing here and now? You're going to go bust.
Well,
You're going to go bust
I've been-
because you're so intransigent
I'm
about
not
this.
intransigent,
We
Ruth.
have
Rubbish.
we have
I'm not
30.
intransigent.
You are absolutely.
I'm sorry, that is
Michael,
nonsense.
we have 30
Talk to me with
prices
sense.
going up.
Talk to me with sense, but don't talk to me like that. I am
Talk
not
to you
here.
with sense. I'm trying to talk to you for sense for 3 months. You won't listen to me.
Ruth, I am not stupid.
Why
I
are
have
we
been
full?
listening. Don't talk rubbish.
Why are we full? Why is my hotel in the middle of nowhere full? Because we have 100 different prices for different times
Not
of the year.
every day.
Yes, every day. I will show you our tariff. I will show you our
Every day you
website.
change your prices?
Yes, if necessary, we do. You have to be
So
flexible,
are you telling me
Michael.
all these hotels in
Yes,
this town?
Yes, yes,
But
I'm
they
telling you
don't,
that.
Ruth.
They
That's
do.
an absolute
They
load
do.
of bunkum.
They do.
I can honestly say that is not true. It is a load of lies.
A clearly angry Michael retreats to the safety of his arbour.
I can say this till I'm blue in the face and you cannot listen to me till you're red in the ears. The fact of the matter is you are in an incredibly price-sensitive market in Reading. If you have assured the general public via your 4 stars that you're running a decent establishment, you will get business, but you will never get business unless the price is right. Your business will not move 1 iota, you will not trade better, you will not have bigger turnover, you will not have more profitability unless you actually start really working on the pricing. I'll leave you to think, Michael. Pissing in the wind, I think it's called. It's so depressing. This man is not evil, he's not malicious, he's not horrible. He is obdurate, he's intransigent, he seems completely unable to understand that this is a business.
Well, I mean, it's all right making comments like this, but, you know, sometimes you need the backup, and the backup is not always there. You know, I don't run a big organisation like these big companies.
I honestly don't know why he's asked me to come here, because he really doesn't want to hear a single thing I have to say.
With a party being held to relaunch Beach House in just a matter of hours, Ruth wants to put their disagreement to one side and move forward with preparations.
Michael, it's looking good. Right, I don't want to have rows and I don't want to shout at you, and it's only my deep frustration because I really would like you to do well, right? And I know that if you even did a modicum of what I was saying, you would do well. But this party, right, let's go into it with joy, yes? Because I'm hoping it's going to be a great success.
It will be.
Yes, good.
It seems that for the time being, Ruth's olive branch has been accepted. Attention now needs to switch to arrangements for the evening's relaunch party, only a short time away.
It'll all come together by 7 o'clock. What will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.
Soon, the first wave of guests arrive. The invitations were sent out to blue-chip companies throughout the region, as well as local press and VIPs. If the 4-star Beach House can make a good impression, it could transform Michael's business and his life. To the delicate sound of the harp, the party begins, and guests start to flood in, spilling out of the house into the manicured gardens. Michael is working hard to impress the crowd.
How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, hello, Michael Bissell. Hello.
He's aided by Ruth, who's selling Beach House with equal passion.
So this might go on your list.
It's almost a rural Lidl.
It's not one of those soulless, multinational, horrid places. It's very friendly looking, it's beautiful, it's got this lovely garden. That's reason enough.
For the life of me, I do not understand how this place is not full every night, because the word of mouth should be so good. It's a really lovely hotel.
After the fireworks of the afternoon, the real thing seems almost tame.
Everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet, which is this place should be successful. I think it's true to say that if Michael does exactly the same as he's doing now, but just tells a lot more people about it and gives them some room rates that they can afford and which are competitive, this can be massively successful. It could be full every night.
That's the dining room gone.
The morning after the fireworks, both Beach House and its owner are coming back down to earth.
Well, I thought the party was brilliant last evening. There was lots of new people here who I think are very interested in the hotel, want to come back and have a look at it in a bit more detail. Liked very much what they saw.
Yesterday, Ruth and Michael had a blazing row about his pricing. This morning, she plans a new tack.
If you continue to not do anything on the pricing, all that's going to happen, Michael, is that you're going to make another considerable loss this year. You're already facing that, aren't you?
Sure. 70 to 80,000.
And you can't afford to make those losses?
Not again, no.
What I'm proposing is that for a period of 1 or 2 months, to make sure that every single one of the online booking agencies actually offers a minimum price of £60 per night, and that just for 1 month, you run with that completely, wholeheartedly, absolutely with no reservations. Would you do that?
Yes, I do that.
They say all good things come to those who wait, and I've waited a long time to hear Michael agreeing with me that actually he does have to have more competitive rates in order for this hotel to prosper. We've got the 4-star rating, and that's all to the good. But at the end of the day, Michael has got to realise this is a business. It's a fine family house and it has a lovely homely atmosphere, but it is a business.
A year ago, the hotel inspector visited Reading and found the Beach House Hotel staring bankruptcy in the face. Its owner, Michael Bissell, was badly in debt and desperate to get more guests through the door.
A year ago, I was very concerned that I was going to lose what I put into this. I wanted to make it a success, but I just couldn't. When Ruth came, I suppose really the whole thing turned the corner, and not instantly, but it's happening, and it's getting better and better. Now we've got rooms full every night, Monday to Thursday, and the figures are looking very, very good. We've seen a doubling of our numbers. We're now 78 to 80% full. Before we were way down in the 40%, 45. We've got really top blue chip companies coming here and loving it.
Morning, Michael.
How are you this morning?
However, despite the new optimism, Michael's convinced that this financial breakthrough has not come about as a result of following Ruth's advice. The hotel inspector was convinced that the way forward was to get the hotel a star rating, but Michael disagrees.
To be honest, it hasn't brought any more business in for me at all. So whether I join again next year, you know, it's another £780 that I don't want to spend.
Rather than Ruth's advice, Michael's convinced that using a new internet booking agency has been the key to success at Beach House.
We're near the mark that we should be, purely and simply because the agents that were introduced to us were far better than the ones we had ourselves. We pay them a commission. The other agents, they took an annual fee, and we were not getting anybody come in from them.
Beach House now gets most of its guest bookings through the internet.
Interestingly enough, when we started, it was something like 25% people booking online. Now it's over 80%.
Ruth also suggested that Michael shouldn't be so formal with his staff and should relax his strict rules about how they addressed him. But 12 months on, it's still very much Mr. Bissell.
It's from day one, when they come, and everybody, all the staff have called me Mr. Bissell, always have done. If we went out for dinner with a group of people, of course, I'm more than happy for people to call me Michael. Don't dare call me Mike.
But the big issue between Ruth and Michael was over room rates, a ticking time bomb that finally exploded into a full-blown battle.
Can I just tell you one thing here now? You're going to go bust.
Well,
you're going to go bust because you're so intransigent
I'm
about
not
this.
Intransigent.
We have
rubbish.
We have.
I'm not intransigent.
You are absolutely.
Stop.
1 year down the line, Michael is sticking to his guns.
And Ruth was saying to me, people are going to come in here and they want a room. Although it's 75 quid, they were going to pay £65. And I wasn't prepared to sort of accept that. Why should I sell myself cheap? I'm not prepared to do it. You know, I don't go into a top class car company to buy a Rolls Royce and expect to pay a mini price.
A clearly angry Michael retreats to the safety of his arbour.
He is obdurate, he's intransigent, he seems completely unable to understand that this is a business.
Am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. I'm listening to what she's saying, but I'm afraid she's wrong.
Since saying goodbye to Ruth, Michael has spent nothing on his rooms, despite leaving his rates unchanged.
Right, this is one of our £85 rooms. Not been changed since Ruth was here. We keep it up to scratch. If it gets damaged paint-wise, we deal with it straight away. And that's our standard. We'd like to go up. And if we go up with our standard, we will go up with our price. We won't be coming down with either. Two gentlemen we've just booked in, £95, 2 rooms each for 4 nights. Thank you very much.
With the cash coming in, Michael is now convinced that his way is the right way.
I don't think I'm stubborn. I think I'm fair. I think I've set a reasonable price. People wouldn't come back here if I was outrageously expensive. I believe I've proved her wrong, because Monday to Thursday I'm getting the money I wanted. And that was what it was all about.
So even after all Ruth's hard work, it looks like this particular leopard really didn't want to change his spots. And as Michael says, perhaps the reason for their disagreements is a very simple one.
I wouldn't like to deal with her every day of the week. I don't think we would see eye to eye for very long. She's very, very... she's like me, I suppose.